Alright, so we're sitting here and we're working on a pair of carburetors for an old coworker whose uncle passed away, and I hit this motorcycle and like to get it up and running and sold for his aunt. And so one of the things that happened at a certain point in motorcycle carburetor development is this jet, and I'm honestly not entirely sure which jet this is, but this is a jet in the carburetor. They became non-removable. And I believe this is because they have something to do with the pollution control system associated with air-cooled motorcycles. This is a 2005 and falls squarely into that category. My CBX is one of the first generations that had the same issue. Now, the problem is I need to clean these carbs. They're filthy. They've got sediment in them. They've got stuff everywhere, including under this jet that is non-removable. So what I've done is I've grabbed the kit that I got for one of my other motorcycles, and I'm doing the same task. I am going to carefully bore out this pilot hole here. Well, not the pilot hole. This is the entrance to the jet. I'm going to bore it out larger. I'm going to run this M3 by 0.5 pitch tap down there, and then I'm going to use one of these M3 by 0.5 screws to remove this jet, and that's going to allow me to both clear the jet hole and be able to dunk this in the carb cleaning solution and clean out the passages underneath and everywhere. If I don't do this, the fluid can't get through there, and I've had very bad luck with some of these in the past. So this is what we're going to go ahead and do, and Jack is going to take some video of the entire process. The first step is to bore out this hole so that we can get the tap in there. And this is probably the most important part, guys. Just remember, this jet is not replaceable. It's not readily available in any way, shape, or form. And if you screw this up, you're probably looking at a new carburetor. Okay? Well, let's go give it a crack, and we'll walk you through the whole process. Here you go, Jack. Yep, you can record.
Can I make a new video and fast forward it?
Just bring it through this one. Come on. Follow us over here. I'm going to put this on the drill press. And the most important part here is to not drill this too far. Pay attention to what you're doing and just go down as far as you need to. We only need to get enough threads that we can tap it and push it through. There's no reason to get crazy with it. So at this point I can feel that I'm at the bottom. The resistance is going up, and it's time to stop drilling. Yep, we still haven't drilled out too far, but the size of the bore is getting smaller than the original opening, so this is as far as we're going to go. We're going to come over to the other vise and we're going to tap it now. We're going to mount it like this so we can also do the pulling function right afterwards. Alright, there we go. We're going to go ahead and take our tapping wrench with our M3 by 0.5 tap, which is just what I happen to have on hand. You could potentially use any tap and screw of this size range that you have on hand. I believe that this came in a kit specifically made up for doing this kind of work on older motorcycles that need carb cleanings. We're just going to run that. There we go. That's bottomed out, so we're going to pull that back up. And we're going to grab our screw and another wrench. Make life a little bit easier. That's maybe not quite what I wanted. So what we're going to do now, put this down in here. Excuse me, Jack. There we go. Going to grab a wrench to use as a spacing plate and just set this up so that we can pry on it and pop that right out of there. And you can see on the piece that came out, look how fouled that is on the back side. Look how fouled it is in the jet hole. Okay, this is pretty awful. Let's bring it under the light. This is very awful right here. Look at that. That's filthy. That's terrible. You can see that it's pretty. Oh, Jack, you gotta focus it, bud. There we go. There we go. Let's bring it like that, and let's focus it in right there. You can see that it's filthy. Now we actually have a chance of getting that clean. And all we have to do now is screw it off. We'll clean everything out of there. Life will be good. Problem is solved. No issue. If you don't do that, that passage will never be clean and it will never properly run. We can even see here in the carburetor that it's just utterly ridiculous in there. See how filthy it is? That's the back hole that we pulled it out of.
Yuck, that's nasty.
Right there. Look at how awful that is. Look at how filthy that is down in that tube. And that tube would have been plugged. That's no good. So kind of there you have it. And let's take a look at that jet again. Let's bring it under the camera. Forgive the wanderingness. There's one from one side. That one's actually not so bad. And then the one from the side that we just finished is this one here. You can see that it's covered in the green oxide corrosion, and the jet is all plugged up in there. There we go. So we're going to passages to clean out. Wasn't what I wanted to do. We're going to have a few